Hello, Jasmine. No, what?
You're not ready.
You're not ready?
You're not ready.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, you sounded weird.
What? Okay. Hello, Jasmine.
Hello, Hugo.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to Watcheando Movies. Yeah, so we're back after...
A week? 2
What
weeks?
was that?
Christmas break? Holiday break?
Yeah, a brief break. How long was it? Like 2 weeks? Yeah, it's about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so the premise of the podcast is, Jasmine, you used to like movies almost 11 years ago now.
Yeah. I feel like I've been bad.
What do you mean you've been bad?
Because I feel like you've tried to make me like movies and I'm just like, it is what it is.
It's been a year. It's been almost a year since we started the
Yeah,
podcast.
in March, I think.
February, yeah. And I've been trying to reignite your love of film, which hasn't been successful.
I think it depends on the movie,
Yeah,
on the director sometimes as well.
yeah. Quentin Tarantino has a saying, it says there are people that like movies and there's people that like the movies they love,
Sounds good.
You know what that means?
That you like your stuff.
Yeah, you like your own little, like you cultivate your own genres.
Yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino is someone that loves all movies. So he's all like, yeah. And that's the difference between him and most people. And most people are probably like you, where like there's a certain genre or a certain type of film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I've been showing you movies. We've been doing a director series. We did David Fincher and Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
We were gonna do Guillermo del Toro. And I decided to push that because Netflix released a bunch of Martin Scorsese movies.
Yeah, it's like they knew we were doing something.
I know, right? I don't know why. It's not like he has a new movie coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very nice. Nice of them to do that. So yeah, we decided to watch 3 movies from Martin Scorsese this month. Let me just tell you a few facts about Martin Scorsese before we get started.
Sounds good.
How much do you know about Martin Scorsese?
He's short. The Academy hates him.
The Academy hates him, yeah, in a way.
I don't know. He's Italian, maybe?
He's Italian.
He likes Italian.
He's Italian. Yeah. He's
thingies.
Italian. Have you seen any of his movies before?
You know what? I was just thinking. I haven't seen a single one of his movies. I'm pretty sure.
You never even seen The Departed? I think that's like a movie your brother loved, isn't it?
Just because my brother loves it doesn't mean I've ever watched it.
Well, I mean,
I think as I was watching this one,
yeah,
I realized or remembered, I guess, that I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like a lot of his movies tend to be not to the same degree of violence as maybe Quentin Tarantino's, but I feel like not that far off.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something about violent movies that I don't like, but I like Quentin Tarantino's style.
Yeah. I think you do like violence.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes my tummy turn. But I can watch
Quentin Tarantino movies.
yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's the coloration. I don't know. And they're like super...
It's more comical, I guess,
I
than Quentin
think
Tarantino
so.
movies.
Yeah, probably that's why. I think it's comical. I don't know.
So, yeah, he is a short guy. He's like 5'3" or something.
Oh, wow. That is short.
Pretty
I
short.
thought he was like 5'6".
Nah, he's pretty short. So when he was a young boy, he had asthma.
Uh-huh.
So he all his
stunted?
friends... Huh?
Oh, I thought you were going to say his growth was stunted.
Oh.
I thought
maybe.
that was like the segue you were making with his height.
No, so he had friends and they all played sports and he couldn't play sports, so he was stuck inside his house a lot.
Watching movies.
And that's how he first got his love of film.
Okay.
And I think he would also go to the movie theater with his mom very often. And that, the films from his era, like the 50s and 40s.
Yeah.
Those are like, he says that, those are like, that's when films were being made. That's when cinema was being made.
Nice.
Yeah, because he says like modern movies aren't good. So he says he doesn't watch a lot of modern movies because they're just visually boring to him. That's what he says.
Interesting.
But he liked Hereditary.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. He was on his way to be a priest when he was in his 20s.
Wow.
He's very like
religious.
He's very very.
Is
religious.
he? Oh
yeah.
wow.
He's Catholic.
Okay.
Catholic Italian, Roman Catholic, is that what it's called?
Italians and Catholics tend to go
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
Is what's his name? Mark Wahlberg, isn't he? Is he
He's
Catholic?
he's Catholic.
And he's
I don't think he's Italian.
maybe he's like Irish or something,
Yeah.
or like something. But yeah,
he's
also very Catholic.
Yeah, he like spoke in front of the Pope or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese, like religion is a lot of themes in his films. He also made a movie called Silence with Andrew Garfield, where it's basically about some priests or something teaching Christianity to people. I didn't watch it.
Interesting. What an interesting switch.
He also made a Jesus movie with Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe plays Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I have heard of that movie, like The Last
Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
And a lot of Christians were boycotting that.
Yeah.
But Martin Scorsese is very religious.
It's very. I'm kind of shocked by that fact because I have heard a lot of people consider that to be like a very sacrilegious
movie
film.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know.
I've never seen it. Is it like Jesus is gay or something? Is that what it is?
I don't think so. I think it's. I have no idea actually.
I don't know. That's
I don't
because
even.
like The Last Temptation.
I really don't know what it's about, to be honest.
Me either. Never seen it. He has a BA in English.
Nice. So that you have that in common?
I have that in common with him. And
you have asthma?
I had asthma when I was a kid, yeah.
You had it?
I had asthma, yeah.
You don't have it anymore?
I don't have it anymore, no.
Oh, wow.
You can grow out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on that. He then went to NYU. You know what NYU is?
Yeah, New York University.
Yeah, baby. One of the top film schools in the country, but he went to it when they were barely a year old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why he did go to film school. Not true anymore.
So, like, he's an older filmmaker, right?
Yeah, he's in his 80s. He's in his 80s.
Maybe we'll talk about this later. I don't know if this is the right point to interject it.
What are you going to say?
Well, so, we talked about how David Fincher enjoys digital, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we discussed Wes Anderson's.
Mm-hmm.
But does he not care?
I don't think he cares that much about it, but he's very much still like trying to preserve film in a way, his own way.
Okay.
Yeah, he does like a lot of movies. He like keeps them. He runs like what are those things called?
Projectors?
I don't know. What's those things? They're not. I was gonna say historians, but like librarians. What do they do? Archives.
Archivers?
Yeah, he runs like a lot of stuff like that, and he sponsors a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, he got into the scene with a short film called The Big Shave.
Wow.
Which is about Vietnam, but it's a 20-minute short film where a guy shaves.
Nice.
And that's he's just shaving, and then he like shaves again, and again, and again, and he starts bleeding. And it's supposed to be about Vietnam.
Interesting.
And then he made a few feature films. He made Who's That Knocking at My Door? He made something called Boxcart Bertha. I don't know what the hell that is. And then Mean Streets. And then he made Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. So he made 4 feature films. And then he made
Taxi Driver.
So what is it? You need an extra job?
I can't sleep. I just want to work long hours.
That taxi driver's been staring at us.
I think that you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Spoilers, of course. So Taxi Driver is the 5th film by Martin Scorsese. And it's written by Paul Schrader. Do you know who Paul Schrader is?
No.
Did you ever watch a movie called The Canyons with Lindsay Lohan?
No.
Yeah. He's a very respected filmmaker. But he made a few shit films in like the 2000s.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right?
It wasn't that he was starting.
Oh.
He was like
going downhill.
Going downhill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because he made it with Lindsay Lohan and a porn star named James Dean. You know James Dean?
No.
I don't believe
Is it a girl or a boy?
No, it's a guy. It's a guy.
Oh.
It stars Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster, Sybil Shepherd, and Harvey Keitel. You know Harvey Keitel, right?
You know, I recognized him, and I was like, I know who this man is. So I looked him up.
Yeah.
So he's been in like Reservoir Dogs, right?
Yeah, he was in Reservoir
He's
Dogs.
like the protagonist. Kind of, I guess.
I think the supporting guy.
Is he? Okay.
Because the protagonist is, what's his name? Tim
and
Roth?
there's a Sister Act, of course.
He was in Sister Act?
Yeah. There's another thing.
No, my sister.
Little Nicky?
Yeah, my sister knows him from Little Nicky. which is very odd. I didn't know he was in that film because I've
But
seen
he's
the
the
film
devil,
since I was a
right?
kid. Yeah, he's the devil. I saw the film as a kid, and then when I got older, my sister was like, "Oh, that's the guy from Little Nicky." I'm like, "What?"
I feel like there's something else.
The Grand
I saw-
Budapest Hotel. He was in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
I saw and I don't remember him.
He was the prisoner guy, the one that came up with the plan.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
Yeah,
him
he's
there.
like bald.
He's
and,
he's in Moonrise Kingdom too, and I don't remember him.
yeah. I think he plays
I
a
think-
minor part.
I
in
think
Moonrise
so.
Kingdom.
I mean, I guess he's played minor parts in both of those films.
Mhm. He's got like that certain type of relationship with Wes Anderson as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson seems like a
A very likable guy.
yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people like to work. with him.
Yeah, I don't know. That makes me like him.
It was released on February 8th, 1976.
Well, almost. I don't know. I was gonna do the math.
You can do the math. 45
Has it been that long?
years ago?
Oh
45 years ago?
God, it's crazy. I noticed a few other actors. I guess there's only one other actor who I recognize.
Cool.
The guy who was Wizard.
Oh, yeah. He was in something, right? He's like in comedies or something?
Yes, he's in comedies. I
remember-
mainly
oh,
remember him from While You Were Sleeping.
Wait. Oh, he's in that?
Yeah, he's a dad.
I think, he's also in the Santa Claus.
Oh, he
He's
is.
the-
He's the
he's the
boss.
boss and then Father Time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he was balding a long time ago.
He was bald. He was
Oh my
bald
God.
for most of his life.
Yeah.
It had a budget of $1.9 million, which now would be about $8 million.
Okay.
And then it made $28 million worldwide,
Okay.
which now would be, I don't know, what 4 times that
Sure.
is, yeah. And then it competed in the 1976 Cannes Film Festival. You remember the Cannes Film Festival?
Do you mean remember as in you've mentioned it
I
in
mentioned
the past?
it. I mentioned it in the past.
Well, no.
No. it's a French film festival.
Okay.
It
Oh, never mind. I do.
Yeah, it's like the
Okay,
equivalent of the Oscars.
Yeah. Okay.
Parasite
okay.
won the top award last year, 2 years ago. I don't think there
Last
was
year.
a Cannes Film Festival last
That was
year.
last year. Oh.
It's 2 years ago. Yeah, because remember it's 2021. Parasite came out in 2019.
But it won for 2020.
Yeah, but no, it's not the Oscars. So
Okay.
like, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, it won the Palme d'Or at it, but also it was booed. The Palme d'Or is the top prize in the Cannes Film
Oh, okay.
Festival. But it was also booed at its screening
Interesting.
because of its violence.
Honestly, it's not that violent.
It's not that- but
Well,
then-
maybe for the time. I don't know what was
Maybe.
being released in the
But
70s.
so the ending scene, they had to change. They desaturated the colors, so the blood wasn't as
So
red.
like in Kill Bill and
Like in
that's
Kill
the
Bill,
black
yeah,
and
yeah.
white things.
Mhm.
Okay. Mhm.
Because they were about to get an X rating as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the 49th Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Actress in a Supporting Role,
Mm-hmm.
and Best Original Score. Yeah. What?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm just
it was
agreeing.
it was nominated alongside Rocky, which
Oh.
ended up winning. Rocky is what ended up winning.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pretty tough. I don't even know if Rocky. But I've never.
You never seen Rocky?
Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Is
light.
it on
it's,
par?
no, but it is lighthearted fun. It's very sweet.
Wholesome.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. There's a relationship in it. It's there's like a romantic
It's
comedy
a
side
good
to it.
family.
It's a good family
movie.
film. Yeah. I think so. I can't remember if
I
there's
don't
any
know what
violence.
it's about.
It's pretty good. And then you should watch Creed.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they're intertwined, right?
Yeah. Sight and Sound put this at the 31st spot of the greatest movies of all time.
Out of how many?
I can't remember,
Okay.
but yeah,
That 31 can mean nothing. to
31.
me. I
But
guess-
number one was Citizen Kane.
Well,
And
you know how I feel about that.
it entered the National Film Registry in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 93% audience score.
Pretty good.
The consensus reads a must-see film for movie lovers. That this Martin Scorsese masterpiece is as hard-hitting as it is compelling, with Robert De Niro at his best. So, Jasmine, have you ever heard about this movie before?
Yes.
And what were your expectations of it?
So initially, I thought that this was based off of somebody who tried to kill the president.
Oh no,
But
I
it's
forgot
the
to
other
mention
way
that.
around.
Yeah, the guy who shot Ronald Reagan
Yeah.
was inspired by it because he was in love with Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird guy.
Yeah. And that's all I knew about it.
That's all you knew about it.
Oh, and then the "you're looking at me." So
You're looking at me. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I knew
very
that.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about it?
Glad you asked. So, overall, I think I liked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of slow, but
Yeah.
not much happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still interested in the story, and I think it's because I'm kind of like invested, or I guess not that I care. I guess I care about Travis in the
You were
sense.
compelled by him.
Yes, and I think that's really matters to me for me to enjoy a movie is that I have to kind of be invested in what's happening to the protagonist.
Yeah.
Because like with Zodiac and I don't remember other movies, I was just like, I didn't care about these guys.
Yeah.
And I was actually, even though not much happened, I still wanted to see what happened with him or what he did.
Right. Yeah. Because he's we hear his thoughts a lot, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
what the hell is this? Yeah.
So it's not like I was rooting for him necessarily. Like I didn't want him to succeed in his goal.
Yeah.
But I guess I wanted to see where the story went. See, also there were several kind of cringy scenes, but we can go into that later.
Very, very hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I watched
Which is good.
Yeah, I watched this for the first time when I was 15, and I was like, I can't watch this ever again.
Really?
Because of those scenes.
There's
They're
some
so hard to
scenes that were just like, oh God.
God, please stop.
But then she was like, yeah. And I was like, huh? Interesting.
Why would you go out with him?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll go into that. There's that one scene that I did not expect it to go the way it went.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't know if you got the same vibe I did, but
Maybe.
we'll see.
Yeah. So you liked it?
Yeah.
Did you really like it, or was it like?
Really liked it.
Yeah.
I have so far. I like. If I base my opinion on Martin Scorsese, how do you say his movie?
I don't know.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would say I overall like what he did, and I want to see what else.
What else he has?
Yeah.
What's this young filmmaker got in him?
Yeah, I want to see. I'm excited to see what his other movies are like.
Yeah, that's great.
I've always been weary, I think, of
directors.
Some of his films just because I feel like he tends to kill his darlings, and I don't like that.
Oh yeah, because you've heard of what happens in The Departed.
Yeah,
which is that is, I'd say that's pretty true.
So I don't know. I feel like I get invested in characters, and which is, I mean, I think as a writer, I don't know if he writes his movies.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, but I think as in a story or whatever, I feel like you shouldn't just kill your protagonist just for like the shock value. Obviously, it has to add to the story.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to
to see someone die.
No.
He's he's considered one of the greatest directors ever.
That's great.
And he doesn't. If you look at his interviews, it's like he doesn't care. And he talked about how even with like this period of his filmmaking career, he says like, I was just making movies with my friends. Really.
That's sweet.
And he's like almost 90, but he's got like a really, really youthful energy to him.
Nice. That's perfect. That's what we all should strive
That's
for.
Good genes. Great teeth. I don't know if he has dentures or not, but you know.
Probably does.
Probably. Favorite scene? Did you have a favorite scene?
So, I don't think I had a favorite scene, but I want to talk about one scene that I found particularly hard to watch, and maybe it's not the same one you did, because there was quite a few. I just remembered another one, and that one was really hard to watch. This one's a little bit more lighthearted. So it's when they're in the cafe.
Do you like the guy you work with?
He's okay.
Yeah, but I know, but do you like him?
Well, he's funny and he's very good at his job. He's okay. Though he does have a few problems.
I would say he has quite a few problems. His energy seems to go in the wrong places. When I walked in and I saw you two sitting there, I could just tell by the way you were both relating that there was no connection whatsoever. And I felt when I walked in that there was something between us. There was an impulse that we were both following.
But the minute I walked in, I knew we had something. Blah blah blah. Did you feel that too? And I thought she was gonna be like, ugh, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, what? I did not expect her to say that. And I was like, oh my god, this would not fly
Today?
Well, I don't know, there's weird guys too. There's like all those alpha male men.
Incels as well. This is he's the proto incel.
Yeah, 100%. It was yeah, that scene. I was like, oh my god, what is he saying? I can't. And then she was into it or something. Is that what it's supposed to imply? Was she into it?
I don't know.
Or is she like humoring him?
Maybe she was humoring just to see where it went.
Maybe.
I think she wanted to see where it went.
Yeah.
I think this remind you of Joker. You've seen Joker.
Oh my gosh, I'm great. I'm so glad you brought it up. Well, I guess I was gonna make a comment about that.
Go on.
I was gonna be more with acting, like his acting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we should just do you want to say your favorite scene before I?
Sure, I'll say my favorite scene. My favorite scene is like my most memorable scene I always remember is when the guy goes in his cab. He like, look over there, look at the window.
Do you see the woman in the window?
Yeah.
You see the woman? Good. So I want you to see that woman because that's my wife. But that's not my apartment. And I'm going to kill her. There's nothing else. I'm going to kill her.
You know who that was?
No.
That was Martin Scorsese.
The guy in the cab.
The guy in the cab. The one that was going to kill his wife.
I'm so used to seeing him old
with white hair. And
I did not recognize him at all.
Yeah, I don't know who he was either until.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I think pretty good actor considering he doesn't act at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that scene. It's very tense. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Like Travis is like looking off. He's just like, he's very like almost emotionless.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously like he's not that threatened by it, and I don't think he's actually gonna kill his wife. Anyways, go on, Joker.
So, let me see. I know he said something. So I think this. Okay, wait. So I felt like Joaquin Phoenix's performance as Joker was very reminiscent of Travis Bickle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they have very similar kind of mannerisms, right? And it's like this quietness, this shyness.
Loners.
Yes, and I mean, I guess like you mentioned, he's supposed to be like kind of like this prototype or what
proto incel.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But it was very similar, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of incels look at this movie like this was Joker before Joker, right?
Yeah.
Where incels would be like, "Oh my god, he's literally me."
Nice.
Yeah, and obviously, like I think Martin Scorsese was originally an executive producer on Joker, until he dropped out of it because he was working on The Irishman. But Todd Phillips obviously was very inspired by, I think specifically this film.
Yes.
In order to make Joker, you see a lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities.
If you had to say which one's better,
like a better overall movie or performance?
Movie.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember Joker. I haven't seen it since we saw it.
We saw it like
2 years
over a year ago.
Oh yeah, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I agree. I think most people would agree.
Yeah.
Joker's fine.
I mean, okay, so it's still like a superhero movie, so there's elements of it that are wacky, which is fine,
like
for what it is.
Yeah, like the Batman stuff.
Yeah. That's fine. But it kind of does not takes away because it is what it's a different thing in its own.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it is very heavily inspired on
and this is way more grounded in reality.
Yes.
There's a lot more realism to it, where like you just see people walking, and like it's like very atmospheric in that way. Yeah. Do you just you want to break it down? Whoops.
Sure.
All right, let's talk about the writing first.
Okay.
Paul Schrader wrote this, obviously one of the most respected screenwriters.
Posh?
Paul Schrader.
Oh, Paul. Oh, yeah. Did you mention him before?
Yeah. He made a movie called First Reformed, and then he made a post saying that it was the best movie of the 2010s.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I mean, he said that his own movie was the best movie of the decade.
Was it?
No. I don't think so.
Interesting.
But go on.
Okay. Like you mentioned, but I guess I'm kind of just reading off of my notes a little bit. So this feels very real and grounded. As I mentioned before, it's a kind of a slow burn, right? You're kind of just waiting for the ball to drop because a lot of the movie is just kind of, you're kind of just seeing this guy.
Yeah, looking around.
Yeah. Let's see what. Oh, and then sorry, I'm gonna try and paraphrase some of the things I said.
Go on.
But I do enjoy, like, as the audience, that you get to spend a long time, essentially, kind of like alone with Travis.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of build that intimacy with him.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, it's very exposition heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily feel like the journals are, I don't know, this is what I've got the impression of. I don't feel like they were supposed to be descriptive of what he was thinking. I think it was just supposed to, like, emphasize his descent into insanity and how he was justifying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I was trying to describe it. Like, it's Wednesday afternoon and I need to get strong. It's just like he's doing all these things because he's lost his footing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very an interesting thing because he's like a guy that you wouldn't expect, like, keeps a journal.
Yeah.
And it's because it's, you'd imagine a journal is kept by someone that's, how do I say it? Like, more thoughtful, like more maybe considerate, spiritual, something.
I'm grateful for.
Because most people don't write journals, right?
Maybe it was so when you go to therapy, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times your therapist tells you to keep a journal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
I don't do that.
I just write if I feel a lot of things. I'll write something, but I've never stuck to just writing about my mundane life.
Right, like every day.
But I feel like that's why I don't think for him it's mundane. There's a purpose to his actions.
Right. Yeah.
If there's a goal he wants to
Yeah.
attain.
Well, I saw an analysis. Now, I'm not terrible at analysis, but I'm not that great either. But I saw this analysis video that said that he hates, like, the scum of the earth, but he also, like, decides to work near them and, like, just be near them. And they said the video cited that he was just trying to prove himself right in his theory of the world. That's why he was, like, getting close to that stuff and looking at all that. And yeah, I think he eventually he thought that he was proven right. So that was his goal. Yeah, was just to be proven right. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's proven right?
100%.
You, because of the child. Sex trafficking. I don't want to say sex worker, because she's being forced, right? So as if sex trafficking, right? Is that it? Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Wild. Jodie Foster was 12 when she made this movie.
Wasn't she 14? I read she was 14.
Was she?
I think
thought she was 12.
Portrays the 12 and a half.
I thought she was 12.
Maybe.
But I remember I read something that said...
Did she have a body double?
For what?
That one weird scene with her and Harvey made me very uncomfortable.
Oh, when they're dancing?
Yeah.
No, that's her.
Interesting. Okay.
They're just dancing.
Doesn't he kiss her at one point?
On her lips?
I don't know. I hit it, so I guess it's left for you to imagine.
Yeah, but it's probably like it was on the cheek or something.
Probably.
But I remember because she said that, I made more movies than Robert and Marty. So like she obviously knew what was up, but they were very, very weird about it, and they said that they were very uncomfortable
with her
because
she was so little.
Because she was a child, and she was like, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. But
I'm a professional.
Like,
damn it.
Like Martin wouldn't even like tell her the direction because he felt so uncomfortable that he would tell Robert De Niro to tell him.
Oh my god!
And then yeah, I mean, like, and then Robert felt awkward when she was like unzipping his pants and stuff. And he's like, this is so fucking weird. Yeah. Anyways, back to writing. Yeah, I would say. What do you think about those two female characters that we have in here?
Jodie Foster
Jodie
and
Fa-
Betsy.
and the blonde girl, yeah.
Um,
Well, they're both blonde, right?
so I
Jodie's an actual.
think, I think they're supposed to be symbolic of purity and innocence, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I
Yeah.
got, and I'll tell you why later. Or I don't know.
Why later?
I don't know, because that's
Just
kind of
doing
do
that.
with like
Yeah.
cinematography, maybe.
Oh, cinematography? You know what? I think in our usual discussions, we usually mix mash anyway.
perfect.
So, yeah.
Especially with Betsy, a lot of this, obviously they're in the daytime too, but there's a lot of brightness associated with her, in contrast with like the darkness.
Yeah, of his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was supposed to be symbolic of lightness, innocence, purity. I don't know, goodness kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Idealisticness. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, she's a white blonde woman. Does she have blue eyes?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's always like the sort of
Angel?
general, well, just the general image that we have from like centuries and centuries of European writing of that's like this white, pure white skin, whatever. That's like a symbol of innocence. And that's like, because like Travis meets her and he hates everyone, but he's interested in her. And
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe this person isn't terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably why Jodie Foster is also blonde in this.
Maybe.
Because she's a natural redhead.
Is she?
I think so.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Was she a redhead in Silence of the Lambs? Is that why I'm thinking that?
I think she's kind of like a strawberry blonde.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that also is sort of a similar thing going on there.
Okay.
Where he sees both of them as sort of victims of society. But then eventually, when she leaves him, the first, Betsy?
Yes. He's like, they're all the same.
Fucking women.
Yeah.
Man, incel. God,
Yeah.
yeah. Incel. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
No? Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's more to say, but not about the writing.
What about the dialogue?
I think it was pretty grounded and real.
Yeah. Even except his monologues, I think his monologue kind of felt like not of this, like how do I say it? A little detached from reality, but that's because he is detached from. Yeah, he's detached from
especially
reality.
because he probably has like kind of like this, maybe he has like an odd like superiority yet inferiority complex, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's supposed to kind of emphasize that like sense of like, oh yeah, I'm doing God's work.
I'm doing
something,
God's work.
kind of thing, right?
These fucking scum. I hope God strikes down on them or something. Well, Jodie Foster asked him, "Is like, what makes you so high and mighty?" And he doesn't answer it because he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's never confronted himself in that way. I think, right? And that's why he's insane.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do I have next? Acting. You want to talk about the acting?
So I don't know why I have this weakness where I love characters who are shy and quiet and sad. I don't know why. And also, hear me out.
Yeah.
I feel like Robert Pattinson and Timothy Chalamet, if they had a baby, they would look like a young Robert De Niro.
Oh, really?
I think he
I
has
don't see
this
that.
gaunt look to him. I feel like he would do, a younger Robert De Niro would do really well in this type of like atmosphere, like with the youth.
Well, he did very well back then.
Did
too.
he?
Yeah.
I think young people would. I think we could make a TikTok compilation with a young Robert De Niro.
They would stand him.
They would stand him.
I was looking at this. I'm like, man, I feel like he looks so weird, like as a young person.
He looks so good. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my
And I'm
God.
like that. I feel like in my mind, Robert De Niro is old, so like his face to me just belongs to an old person.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think he also kind of reminded me of Danny, like
Our
the
cousin?
eyes or something. I don't know. There's something there. Well, anyways, so I don't know. I don't know if I liked his acting or if I kind of just like these kind of sad boy
Kinda
types.
sad,
So I was just like, yeah. And he had this really sweet, shy smile, and I was like, oh my God.
Your relationships are gonna be awful.
I mean, I'm not gonna date, so. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked his portrayal. Like, I think a lot of times, like, psychopaths or crazy people are kind of portrayed as like, you know.
Like Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys.
I've
Like,
never seen 12
There's
Monkeys.
12 monkeys over here. 12 monkeys over here. Yeah.
Sure, if that's what you say. You know, like Jared Leto's Joker kind of thing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I really enjoy. I mean, obviously it's more realistic, right? I shouldn't say enjoy. Okay. But I liked how toned down it was. It's almost like kind of like that Norman Beatty kind ofness where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like so quiet, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't even hurt a fly kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just very quiet. Almost, what's the word? Low self-esteem guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Like he hates himself, right? Yeah.
And I think you can read a lot into, because he seems like a nice guy, but his mannerisms and the things he says, like when he's in that car with the politician Palatine.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's
he's
his
like,
name.
oh yeah, I want to vote
I'm
for
your
you.
biggest supporter, and then
Yeah,
like,
we
he
should get rid of
switches into.
And I was like, yeah, I love that. That was good.
Yeah, and I think I think that moment is symbolic of like all of his other interactions, where his interactions start off
Innocent.
not just innocent, but like human.
Yeah.
Like it's like what we would usually do.
Yeah.
And then they end in like just like no, like you should obviously like no, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the politician thing, and then with the porno theater.
Yeah.
And then obviously he just fucking murders everyone around Jodie Foster. Yeah. Yeah. But still, I mean, I think this is probably his best performance.
I mean, I don't know.
You haven't seen a lot of Robert De Niro movies?
No, not anything like that I would say he's known for doing a well job.
Just like Meet the Fuckers.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good thing I've known him from.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I grew up. He still has a lot of the sort of facial movements that he has now, like with this, the smiling and the frowning and the, and he squints his eyes a lot.
Yeah.
For some reason. He's Irish,
I think maybe vaguely. I knew that somewhere.
Because he plays the Irishman.
Because he's Irish? Wow. Crazy.
Yeah. Anyways. What do you think about Jodie Foster in this?
Let me see. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've... Let me see, I'm blind. Oh. My main comments were... I guess you kind of answered them. My main concern was like, what were like child labor laws like back in the
Okay, so let me tell you. I read the Wikipedia article, and they had to put her through therapy before they started shooting, so that they made sure that playing that role wouldn't scar her for life.
Well, because I was thinking like she's tackling like really like even as a I think I don't know, from what I read she was 14, but even as a 14-year-old there's a lot of like things you don't. I think you kind of are aware of like sex workers and drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but this is like
putting you right in it.
Not just that, but like this can happen to young children kind of thing, right?
Oh.
And I think even when you're like 14, 15, you're like, oh, it's when maybe some older person. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, I think even as children, you're told you can get abducted, and you'll be sold and your body would be used.
But it's not. Yeah, I feel like it's impressive because I feel like she seems very mature in the way she handled her role. And I feel like as a parent, I'm just kidding.
As a parent,
no. I mean, I think she did a great job. It's just a lot of her scenes are really hard to watch.
Yeah, because of that factor.
Yeah.
Of like, man, this is a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she offers a lot of nuance to the performance. Like I watched this when I was 15, and I'm like, I don't like care much about performances in it.
Okay.
But like, wow, like 'cause especially like if you watch a lot of child actors act, it's usually pretty bad. And this is so good.
Yeah.
And it's very surprising. But that's why she is who she is.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster, like there's a literal I looked at her Wikipedia page, and you have to go to a separate Wikipedia page to look at all the awards that she's been nominated for. Yeah. pretty great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won 2 Oscars. I found out for Silence of the Lambs and some other movie I've never heard of.
Okay.
Yeah, have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
No, it seems scary.
It's pretty good. It's not scary. It's a thriller, with horror elements. They say, but it's not really that horror.
Okay.
You know, Anthony Hopkins in that for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and he won Best Supporting Actor for it.
That's
That's the way. Like Anne Hathaway was in
Wow.
Les Mis for 5 minutes or something.
she won a
And she won
supporting-
the Best Supporting
Nice.
Actress.
I mean, when you got it, you got it.
When you sing that song,
Right.
you win
You,
it.
just, they made those few minutes count.
Yeah.
Well, they stole the show. Wow.
Cinematography. What do you think about cinematography in this?
Cinematography. I'm just gonna list things I noticed because I'm not very literate when it comes to
Cinema.
Yeah. I think as I mentioned, like the darkness and lightness
Mhm.
with Travis and Betsy. When he talks about seeing Betsy, it's a handheld camera and it's bright, and I think it's supposed to be kind of help the audience kind of like first love kind of thing, like whimsy, romantic kind of thing is the vibe I got. And I don't know if I want to mention that one.
Mention it.
So when Travis was like, there was that kind of like moment when he was like practicing drawing his guns, I think.
Yeah.
And it was very centered, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I noticed that.
Go
I guess
on.
you're supposed to focus on him. I don't know.
Maybe he's like.
I think it's supposed to be like unsettling, kind of.
Maybe. Or is he aiming the gun to us? Is that
Maybe.
one of it?
I don't know.
Maybe that's like he's focused now. You know, he's got to focus now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like that like slidey thing, like you're behind in the convenience store,
Mm-hmm.
where like you're behind the counter, or not counter, the aisle. You're on the next aisle and you're kind of seeing it, the transition. That was fancy.
That was fancy. What do you think about the colors in this? The colors are heavily saturated for most of the film.
Colors?
Yeah, they're heavily saturated.
It's a very well lit movie for being as
yeah.
old as it is.
And especially because a lot of it takes place at
At
night.
night, yeah, it's very well lit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Color. I don't think I notice colors as much as you and Andy do, like color schemes and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know, didn't you get like a dirty vibe? I get like a dirty vibe from this.
Well, there is I guess like greens, yellows, browns.
Yeah. That the color of that taxi cab is very. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then obviously, I think with Betsy, it's like very like all American, almost like whites. I mean, she works for like a political figure.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Whites, reds,
Yeah.
a lot of red for her. Red and white.
Yeah. Well, there was that one sequence, you know, because like I said, I heard the saturated, the saturated. Well, they desaturated it for that bloody scene, but most of the movie is saturated as fuck. And it's like the darks are very darkened. But then there's this one moment when Travis is in the movie theater that we just see like these shots from New York, and it's like someone just walking through New York. And those look just like normal footage, like just normal, like if you took out your iPhone camera
and you just
record it, that's what it would look like. And I think that's supposed to be like the world with Travis is like dark, and the world without him is a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, oh, you know, what way do you view it? Because there's, you know, that opening shot where like we see Robert De Niro's eyes, and he's just looking out, and everything else like is like in slow motion, you know, and it's very dark and hazy.
Yeah.
Because that's the way he views the world, baby.
Damn.
Boom. That's cinema right there, man. Martin Scorsese. Yeah, you know, so like his view of life is what we see on camera.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, there's 2 scene-ish is I want to go over.
All right, go on.
So it's kind of basically like, I don't know if it's like the last 2 scenes maybe.
Yeah.
So one of them is like once the police come and like he does like the gun head thingy.
Yeah.
And then it's like there's overshot, right?
Yeah.
Of them, and it goes over all the massacre and then all the way down and then to the street. I think after a certain point it was too long, but that's just me.
Yeah. I think it's Harvey Keitel's hand move.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, Oh, I thought they were gonna say he was alive. But
I don't know.
I think that was just a
That
mistake.
was a really long shot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, it's horrible. And then it's the police, and then like, oh yeah, the police came, and they just kept going and going. And I was like, what?
End it now.
End it now, Martin.
God,
This is me,
This is me.
an uneducated person film. And let me tell you how it should be
How
done.
it should be. Yeah.
No, but yeah, overall, I thought it was interesting, but I think it was a little bit too long. The other thing was going back to kind of what you're talking about at the beginning of the movie. So when he's talking with Betsy, we see him, and then the camera doesn't go to Betsy. It just shows us like Robert De Niro's perspective, right? Which is the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
And then initially I was thinking, oh, it's because we're seeing it through his perspective. And then there's that one shot where we see it through her perspective. And then he goes crazy or something. I don't know.
That's the ending scene.
Right? Yeah.
I can't remember a shot of her perspective.
At the very end, I don't know. I feel like it's her perspective because then we see him looking at her. And then she gets out of the car, and then he drives by, and then off. Sorry, he drives
off into the sunset.
And then he looks up, and he's like, huh? And then he turns the rear view mirror, and there's lights, and that's the end.
Oh, by the way, why do you think he killed those child pedophile guys?
Because he couldn't kill the other guy?
Yeah, he can kill Senator, but you think like why specifically them?
Them?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't actually know. That's a great question.
Yeah.
What's your theory?
That he just wanted to. Well, he obviously just wanted to kill someone, right?
Well, I mean, he did kill one person already, right? It was that robber, that thief.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That was more of like, quote unquote, self-defense or whatever.
Sure.
By the way, he's racist, right? Travis is racist
Against African Americans?
against black people. Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
you can catch that. Like he always looks at black people and he's like, "What's this guy
Black.
doing?" Yeah,
Gross.
yeah.
No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, no. Did you watch it again? I didn't catch it on my first watch either.
Okay.
And the second watch, I'm like, oh, it's because I wasn't woke when I was 15.
Damn.
But now I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
What was I saying?
He had a hunger for
Oh,
blood.
just killing someone. But since he couldn't kill the politician who he thought was emblematic of like the what he hated in society, he like might as well get rid of some of the scum of the earth, right?
Sure. I thought it was going to be like a parallel between his infatuation with Betsy and his infatuation with
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster's character Iris.
Yeah.
And it's like these men are in the way kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he's rescuing them.
Yeah. And
Well,
his
he thinks
perspective.
he's rescuing
Yeah.
them, but like Betsy obviously doesn't need, because like his first date thing
Mhm.
was like, I'm rescuing you from that guy that you don't like, and
Yeah.
you're very alone. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
what's that called? Projecting.
Yeah.
And then he talks to Jodie Foster. And he's like, my parents hate me. I don't want to go back there. I'm better here. And I think I've read a lot of analysis that said that dancing scene is supposed to show that she is safer there.
Really?
But to me, that reads as like, oh, she's being coerced into being there. So I don't know how to deal with that.
Nah, that can't be
That
right.
can't be right. I guess, but like in her mind, she doesn't need saving, right?
Yeah.
But he saves her anyway because he has this obsession of like being
A hero?
a hero, I guess, and then people view him as a hero at the end.
Yeah.
Unrightfully so,
Yeah.
and they don't know
Yeah.
that he just tried to kill a future president.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about? Cinematography. Yeah, the shots are great. Yeah, those are some great shots. Especially, I love that. That's probably my favorite shot in this whole film. Just covered in blood.
Yeah.
He tried
Oh
to
my
kill
gosh.
him. Yeah.
Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Honestly, that sequence was pretty interesting. The whole shooting one where they blew his hands off. That
Yeah.
was some great practical
Effects. Yeah.
effects. Except, I rewinded a part when he got shot in the neck. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And then when I rewinded, I could see like the little thing of
Prosthetic.
a prosthetic. Yes.
Yeah. Just blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's very effective.
Yeah,
If in your first take it's pretty effective, you
Yeah,
don't notice
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
yeah, it was good.
The guy who made the guy who did the special effects for The Exorcist did this.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never seen The Exorcist. I've seen a few parts. I've seen those parts where like she throws up all over. Yeah,
I've
so
never seen The Exorcist, and I never will.
Yeah, the blood that because he had a very specific recipe for fake blood.
Oh, nice.
Which
what is it?
I can't remember, but I remember it's very much not edible. If you eat it, you die.
Really?
But it looks so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's very well, because blood has a certain viscosity, right?
I don't know what that means.
It has this like look, feelness, right? Like this
Right.
weight,
Yeah.
right? It's not like it's like
And corn syrup doesn't replicate that.
yeah, it's like not gloopy, but like it has substance. It's not just water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm making myself sick just thinking
Just
about
thinking
it.
about blood. So yeah, you like that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Editing?
What is considered it's the way they cut scenes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I noticed anything.
And that's good.
Yeah.
You know
what
what they
about
say?
would editing be kind of like that shooting range scene?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It keeps cutting every shot.
Yeah, okay. That was probably maybe the most I noticed.
That's the most.
But I
Yeah.
think it was interesting.
This is a very well made film.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very good. Directing?
I'm assuming very good.
Would you just want to say, pay my compliments to the chef?
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
He
And did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm not, so I don't know a lot about Martin Scorsese, but I do know that one scene where Robert De Niro's like, "You talking to me" is improvised, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's a good mark of a director too, right? Where
Where
you
you just
can
let
give the liberty and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought, right? And that's like super iconic.
And a lot of actors like working with Scorsese.
Yeah.
In that way. Because he's
Open?
very open to that, to improvise. Because The Wolf of Wall Street, which we will be
Was that,
watching, that was improvised. That was improvised. Most of that movie is improvised.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. Yeah. So he's a pretty good. It's interesting because not everyone, like most directors, are either very obsessed with visuals or they're obsessed with the performances.
Okay.
And Martin Scorsese has the ability to like do both very well.
Yeah.
Seamlessly as well. It seems like he doesn't even try to do. He's just effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So that's.
It was also, I wanted to mention, I had a really hard time watching David Fincher movies, and they were hella long.
They were.
And Martin Scorsese's
Are also long.
hella long,
Yeah.
but I think I might actually.
You might be able to handle
I
it.
might like them.
Yeah. Well, they have a faster energy to them.
Maybe.
Yeah, they do. They really
Okay.
do. Yeah. So yeah, that's Taxi Driver. I really like Taxi Driver. I think it's probably my favorite Scorsese film.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not the first one I watched. The first one I watched was the Departed.
Okay.
Which I loved. So yeah, we're not talking about The Departed though.
No, I told you not to. I'm sorry.
We could do it in a way, but that'd be adding another film for you.
Nice.
You'd watch it on your own, or maybe we do. Excuse me. Maybe we might revisit Scorsese in the future.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's Taxi Driver. Do you have any negatives? What would you change?
Just that one scene that was too long. Excuse you, Mr. Scorsese, but you done messed. I'm just kidding.
So thumbs up, thumbs down, Joe.
Oh, we didn't talk about score.
Oh,
And you
no.
said it got nominated for something.
It got nominated for score. Do you want to talk about score?
I'll just say it was very jazzy. Had some drums and trumpets. I don't know, some harps maybe. It was interesting.
That's amazing because I just noticed that one. What's it called? Music when
It had like cymbals too. I felt like
just
I don't know, a lot of
the one that was like.
crashing. Yeah.
It's like very like dark and.
I don't
everything.
remember what scene I felt like had harps or like a string instrument or something. I don't remember.
Was it
what.
one of the more normal scenes?
No, probably
No,
not.
probably not.
It was maybe it was with Jodie Foster because it was kind of like what was it called? Kind of like eerie. I don't know.
When he was like following her.
Maybe I don't remember. I'll have to
I don't have that good of a ear for music.
me or something.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of guessing, to be honest.
Pretty good guess. I mean, I just noticed that one repeating motif.
Motif.
the the
Yeah.
drum thing. Yeah, fantastic.
Nice. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up for me as well. Yeah, sounds great.
Nice.
That's I don't
Alright.
really have an ending thing. We're watching Goodfellas next.
Yes.
That's what I should say.
Yes. that'd be good.
Goodfellas next, and then we're all watching The Wolf of Wall Street.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what we have in store for you for these next few weeks. Thanks for listening.
Bye.